and other mobile communication devices or put them on the silent mode. I'd like to call this meeting to order. At this time, I'd like to introduce members of the committee. On my far left, I have Councilmember Elegant. Councilmember Kern should be joining us shortly. Councilmember Kanuha, Councilmember Eoff, Councilmember Yoshimoto, Councilmember Ford. To my right, we have Councilmember Willie. And in Hilo, we have Councilmember Onishi. Is he there?
Not at the present time.
Okay, he should be joining us shortly also. Okay, so at this time, I'd like to take statements from the public on the agenda items, and please note that you have 3 minutes to testify on any agenda item. I'd like to go to Ka'u and see if we have any testifiers in Ka'u. Is Ka'u online?
Yes. We are online. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. We have 4 testifiers here today regarding 3 through 5114.
Thank you. And I'll be coming back to you. Pahoa, do we have any testifiers in Pahoa? Is Pahoa online?
Hi, good afternoon, Madam Chair. There are no testifiers here for your committee today.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to Hilo. Do we have any testifiers in Hilo?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. No, we do not have any testifiers in Hilo.
Thank you. Waimea. Do we have any testifiers in Waimea?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. We have no testifiers. Thank you.
Thank you. Kohala. Do we have any testifiers in Kohala?
Good afternoon, Chair Poindexter. We have 1 testifier this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Okay, and in Kona, we have 6 testifiers. So I'm going to ask the first 2 testifiers to come up to the table. Laura Kaakua and William Keone Fox. And I'd like to ask Kohala, since you have 1 testifier, while they're getting ready here, can you please bring that testifier up, state the name for the record, and then proceed?
Yes, good afternoon. Our testifier this afternoon is Toni Withington, representing herself, speaking in support of Resolution 351-14, the acquisition of Ka'u land. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Toni Withington. I support the Open Space Fund process. It is time-tested and voter-supported. I am in favor today of the resolution to purchase the land in Ka'u, as I was for the land for Banyans Park just a couple weeks ago. Because the resolutions just enter the county into the process of acquisition of parcels that have been identified as important. I was not a part of either of those nominations for prioritization. 2 of the projects that I was involved have council resolutions that will be coming before you shortly. One is for Neoli'i, which is number 2 on the priority list, and one is for Hapu'u to Kapanaya Cultural Corridor, which is number 3 on the list. It is important to allow the finance department and the communities and the landowners the maximum amount of time to do what needs to be done. Appraisals, seeking matching financing, checking all the legal angles, checking out stewardship. All of these things take time. The council should not be the ones picking and choosing which projects to fund and which order to fund them. That is why we have the Public Access, Open Space, and Natural Resources Commission. They spend all year looking into these projects and prioritizing them. That's why we have the Finance Department and the Corp Council to decide which parcels to move on. It is important to allow the Finance Department time to do these things. When it comes to the decision about how much money there is in the fund and how far the county can go with the projects in front of it, the Finance Department and the Council should have as wide a variety of parcels and projects available in front of them for making decisions. The resos should be in the hands of the Finance Department so that they can make a good decision based on the recommendations of the PONC and how much money is available. It is hope, this is not a race. It is up to you to decide whether the county should just enter into negotiations for purchases of these parcels that have already been identified. It is hoped that all of these parcels will eventually be preserved. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Okay, that was Kohala. So we come here to Kona. If you could state your name for the record, first testifier. State your name for the record and then proceed.
Good afternoon. My name is William Keone Fox. Oh, okay.
Pull the microphone closer to you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, but pull the microphone closer to you.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Okay, so your 3 minutes.
Okay. My name is William Keone Fox, and I'm here today on behalf of the Keanu family of Ka'u. Our family has always had a strong connection to this Aina. Our family actually had a royal land grant for 250 acres of land in the Ahupua of Kavala, which is immediately adjacent to Kaunamano. My great-grandfather was Alfred Klamakahakua. He actually lived in Kaunamano, near where the current Jehovah's Witness Church is. And he was always very concerned about the future of the environmental and cultural resources of Kaunamano, and he stressed the importance of protecting those resources, especially the kupuna who are buried there. In 2001, when the property was sold by Sue Brewer, it was actually a strong concern for our family that those environmental and cultural resources and the iwi kupuna would not be protected. So the fact that we're here today and that Councilwoman Ford has introduced this resolution, we just want to say that we appreciate it. We appreciate the county's consideration, and we are in strong support of the measure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next testifier, state your name for the record and then proceed.
Aloha, Chair Poindexter and members of the council and committee. My name is Laura Ka'akua. I'm the Native Lands Project Manager for the Trust for Public Land, and we have been grateful to partner with the county on other conservation projects throughout the island, and are very excited to now be working with you again in Ka'u. And our role here would be as a partner with the county, as we have partnered with the county before in Kauai, Honuapo, Lapakahi, Pa'o'o, and so we would be applying for state and federal funding so that it's not just the county that has to put up the funds for this purchase. And we would also be looking for private funding if there was a gap that needed to be filled. And so if this moves forward, we will work very closely with county staff and leadership at every step along the way to complete due diligence, apply for those matching funds, and see the project through to completion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll go back to, let's go to Ka'u. Your first two testifiers, state your name for the record and then proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We still have four people testifying. First, we have Zachary DiBernardi in support of Resolution 35114, and he is representing himself.
Aloha, members of the Finance Committee. My name is Zachary DiBernardi. I am 82 years old and have been living and working in Ka'u for more than 41 years. I have been a member of the Hawaiian Civic Club of Ka'u since 1970s, and I teach Hawaiian language and Hawaiian arts and craft classes in Ka'u. I am here to testify in favor of the resolution for the county to acquire Kana'amano in Ka'u. In place names of Hawaii, author Mary Kavena Pukui, who was born and raised in Kana'amano, Mauka, translates Kana'amano as multitudes are placed here. The multitudes that Mrs. Pukui speaks of are the many poe kahiko, people of old, who made their homes here, fished here, stored their things here, prayed here, and buried their people here. For 5 years in the 1970s, my parents and I lived on adjacent property to this Kana'amano area. From the work of my good friend, the late Violet Hansen, and from personal investigation, I became very familiar with this area, visiting the sites and spending many hours at the cave of Kavelohea, listening to her shouting. The area is well preserved and a great place that shows the importance and history of Ka'u. In 2004, Hahn and Associates conducted an archaeological inventory survey of this property and reported their findings in a lengthy report. In their summary, Hahn and Associates reported identifying 444 sites with more than 3,900 features. The sites and features surveyed include enclosures, mounds, platforms, walls, salt pans, wall terraces, trails, petroglyphs, papamu, heiau, a refuge cave, and other lava tubes, ceremonial sites, and a burial site. The following is quoted from the summary. All 444 sites are all assessed as significant for their content. The sites have yielded information important for understanding prehistoric and historic land use in this area. 6 sites include a refuge cave, and 5 sites with probable heiau are additionally assessed as significant as good site type examples and culturally significant to the Hawaiian people. 16 sites are also assessed significant as good site type examples. These consist of 5 well-preserved permanent habitation sites, 2 trails, 2 canoe sheds, a refuge cave, 4 sites with petroglyphs, a World War II era firing range, and representative portions of a railroad grade. 46 sites consisting of 28 where burials were present, 13 where probable burials were present, 2 where possible burials are present, and 3 interpreted as ceremonial sites are additionally assessed as culturally significant to Hawaiian people. In closing, I would like to say that the presence of so many important sites that are culturally and historically important, not only to Native Hawaiians, but to all the residents of Hawaii Island, are compelling reason for preservation and protection by the County of Hawaii. As with the environmental values of this Kana'amano area, Ka'ohana o Hono'apo, in conjunction with the Hawaiian Civic Club of Ka'u, would include the historical and cultural values of Kana'amano in their workshops and classes here in Ka'u. Mahalo Anui Loa for allowing me to give my testimony in favor of this important matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. And we're doing the timing on the Ka'u side as well, yes? Ka'u?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to check in the Hilo chambers if fresh Councilmember Onishi arrived yet.
Is not in the chambers yet, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so our second testifier in... is there a second testifier now up in Ka'u?
Yes.
Okay, state your name for the record and then proceed, please. Thank you. Can you state your name for the record and then proceed, please? Okay, we don't have sound in Ka'u. Is the mic on?
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
My
thank
name,
you. Okay, go ahead.
Right. Go ahead. Aloha, members of the Finance Committee. My name is Pawahi Pullum. I am 78 years old and I was born and raised in Ka'u. My great-grandma was Kapeka Pinau and grandmother Keli'i Holokahiki Pinau. I am the board secretary for the Hawaiian Civic Club of Ka'u, and my testimony is on behalf of our civic club. We are all in favor of this resolution for the county to purchase Kaunamano because we are in agreement with Ka'ohana o Honuapo that the assets and values of this land need to be protected in perpetuity for all the people of our island. With more than 3,900 historical and cultural features, this property has been called culturally significant to the Hawaiian people, as stated in an archaeological study completed by Hahn and Associates in 2004. The sites and features include refuge and habitat caves, heiau, burial places, trails, intact ancient stone walls, petroglyphs, ceremonial places, and cultural platforms. All of these ancient and historical features constitute a treasure trove of important Hawaiian culture heritage, not only for the people of Ka'u, but for all of Hawaii's residents. Our club would like to know that these cultural resources, including archaeological and historical sites, iwi and their burials, and any hidden artifacts be securely protected in perpetuity by bought and preserved by our county. The Hawaiian Civic Club, organized in 1969, has one of its primary missions, ho'omalu, to protect the natural and cultural resources and assets of Ka'u. We continue to serve the people of Ka'u as cultural resource in teaching Hawaiian practices, games, and language. And we continue to award yearly college scholarships to deserving Hawaiian students from Ka'u. The preservation of Kaunamano by the County of Hawaii will allow us to share the stories, knowledge, history, traditions, mele and hula, and the cultural practices of this place for generations to come. Thank you for this opportunity to testify on behalf of the Hawaiian Civic Club of Ka'u in favor of the purchase and preservation of Kaunamano.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call up to the table here in Kona, Megan Lamson and J. David Richardson. While they're coming up to the table, Ka'u, your next two testifiers, could you state your name for the record and then proceed? Oops, I think... is Ka'u still online?
Yes,
Aloha,
yes, we are.
Auinala, members of the Finance Committee. I am Wendy Scott Vance. I've lived in Hawaii for 38 years, and on the island of Hawaii for 18 of those in Keolaka'a, Ka'u. I'm a founding mother of Ka'ohana Honuapo and served on its board of directors from its incorporation in 2005 to 2013. I'm presently the Secretary-Treasurer for Ho'omalu Ka'u, a tax-exempt nonprofit in Ka'u with plans to build a heritage center at Manuka. I would like to speak on behalf of Ho'omalu Ka'u in favor of this county resolution to purchase the acreage at Kaunamano. This is an unparalleled opportunity for the county to preserve a large tract of open space with access to 4 miles of coastline adjacent to Honuapo Park and less than 2 miles from Na'alehu town. Together with all of the undeveloped shoreline from the west end of the Ka'u district to the boundary of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park in the northeast, the protection and perpetuity of this area gives all of us who live on this island a unique chance to save its natural and cultural resources for many generations to come. Ho'omalu Ka'u is a nonprofit organization located in Na'alehu with the mission to perpetuate, protect, and conserve the lands, health, knowledge, culture, and history of Ka'u and its people. Our primary long-term goal is to build and manage the Heritage Center of Ka'u, an archival meeting center to house the cultural, historical, environmental, and traditional knowledge of Ka'u and its land and people. The purchase of this valuable resource of Hawaiian archaeological treasures and historical assets is very important for the people and the future of our district. Please make the acquisition of this land a priority for the county. Mahalo nui for allowing me to present this testimony on behalf of Ho'omalu Ka'u.
Thank you very much. Your next testifier, please, excuse me, please state your name for the record and then proceed. Is your mic on in Ka'u?
Hello? Okay. Aloha, my name is Michelle Galimba, and I'm representing Kuahibi Ranch. I'd like to support the acquisition of the Kaunamano parcel. My family ranch, Kuahibi Ranch, has leased this acreage for pasture from the current owners for several years now. I've ridden on horseback over this acreage many times and can attest to the large number of cultural sites upon the landscape. There are a great many rock walls, rock enclosures, mounds, caves, and other structures. It was much inhabited in earlier days. Also, local fishermen favor several sites along the coast within this property for fishing. The natural beauty of the site is also an important consideration. The view across the property down the coast towards Kilauea is one that many residents of Ka'u take great pride and pleasure in, and it is also enjoyed by many visitors to Ka'u. Between the plethora of cultural sites, its value to the community as open space and as a fishing site, its great natural beauty, its position adjoining Honuapo, the Kaunamano property is a good candidate for open space preservation. I would like to bring up one thing that I think is important, that if this land is acquired, it is really important that vehicular access, especially motorcycles and ATVs, I think it's really important that that be managed so that we don't have the kind of degradation of cultural sites that's happening down in South Point, Kalai. That being said, I wholeheartedly support the acquisition of Kaunamano.
Thank you very much. Moving back here to Kona, our next two testifiers. Can you please state your name for the record and then proceed? On the base of the, right there, yes. Will the light come on? Okay, go ahead.
Aloha, my name is Megan Lamson, and I wholeheartedly support the Resolution 351 for the purchase of Kaunamano. And I am the current president of Ka'ohana Ohonoapo. I have been a volunteer for this board for over 8 years now, and professionally I am a marine biologist. I work part-time for the Division of Aquatic Resources with the state as well as with Hawaii Wildlife Fund. And during my master's thesis research at UH Hilo in 2008, I conducted well over 700 dives in the nearshore region at Honuapo Bay in the tidal zone, and on the rare occasions it was calm enough to swim out into Honuapo Bay. I was always amazed by the plethora and abundance and health of the coral reef ecosystem there. It was a model example of a healthy coral reef, fish populations comparable to some of the sites that we survey here in West Hawaii that have been closed to fishing for decades. Also, I've counted and identified 119 unique fish species at Honuapo Bay. As you may well know, Honuapo Bay is the northern boundary for the Kaunamano property. And moreover, I'd like to remind you, Wendy touched upon this in Ko'u, but Kaunamano exists in the middle of an 80-mile stretch or more of relatively little to no development. This is a claim that's unique in the state. So areas from the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park in Puna all the way through Ko'u into South Kona, Mililui, and beyond. and where there's no development or little development, and because of this, there's limited stressors on the marine environment. So I can't reiterate enough how important it is for us to use money that was designed for this purpose, our public access, open space, natural resource funds, to protect and preserve intact, healthy marine ecosystems rather than to spend money, gobs and gobs of money, trying to attempt to restore already degraded areas that are maybe closer to population centers. So, thank you for your time, and if you have any further questions, I'm happy to provide my contact information. And again, on behalf of Ka'ohana Ohono'apo and individually, we all support this resolution, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, if you can state your name for the record and then proceed.
Hello, my name is Joseph David Richardson, and I'm a representative of EWM Enterprises LP, the owner of the Connemano properties. On behalf of EWM, I'd like to formally express EWM's willingness to enter into negotiations with the Director of Finance for the county's acquisition of the Connemano properties. EWM recognizes the cultural, historical, and recreational significance of these properties and understands that an acquisition of these properties by the county would benefit the community of Ka'u. Approval of this resolution will enable EWM and the Director of Finance to proceed with formal negotiations, including the appraisal process. EWM is eager and committed to working with the county in an effort to reach an agreement mutually acceptable to all parties. As such, EWM respectfully asks for your vote in favor of Resolution 351-14. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, our last two testifiers, Lehua Lopez Mao and Patrick Herney. Please come to the table. You can begin, state your name for the record, and then proceed.
Aloha, members of the Finance Committee. My name is Lehua Lopez Mao, and I'm here as a volunteer for Ka'ohana Ohono'apo. I am the former executive director of Ka'ohana Ohono'apo, and I wrote and submitted the nomination papers for this property to the Preservation and Open Space Commission. I would like to address the issue of the county's purchasing more land in Ka'u for preservation and protection. As most of you know, the county has already purchased Kawa, which was done just a couple of years ago, further north of Honuapo Park. This land is immediately south of Honuapo Park. In fact, the distance between this property and Honuapo is a couple of acres of very sloping land from the top of Honuapo Bay down to the bottom. But this property goes for 4 miles of ocean front, from Honuapo all the way around to just below the police station and the Jehovah Witness Hall. If we can add this 1,363 acres to the existing 225 acres of Honuapo Park and make one large Honuapo/Kaunamano Park, it will be the largest beach park in the entire state. With the collapse of the real estate market in 2008, land prices have fallen drastically in Ka'u. Now is the time to purchase land for future uses and future needs. This is a tremendous opportunity we have now. We have a willing seller, and we have a property with incredible marine, environmental, and cultural resources. There is no need for the county to spend any more money for this area after it's purchased. This property is fenced and gated. It can be land banked for the future. There is no need at this present time to do anything more but to capture the opportunity to buy this land while real estate prices are rock bottom. And I have a feeling that the independent appraisal will come in much less than what EWM Enterprises paid for this property. So this is the opportunity now, and it will still take us time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, state your name for the record and then proceed.
Aloha, I'm Patrick Kearney with Habitat for Humanity in West Hawaii, and I am here to testify in support of Communication 779, which is the Community Development Block Grant funding. Habitat for Humanity seeks to use this funding to purchase 6 lots in Waikoloa, the Kamakoa Nui Workforce Development Project. Last year, we were able to purchase 6 lots, and we offered a home and land package to low-income families, and we had about 135 families show interest. It was one of our most difficult decisions to select 6 of those families, but we were able to do that, and we hope to do the same and offer another home and land package for 6 more families with this funding. We offer it to the entire island. We have 2 families from Hilo that were awarded this past 6 lots. We estimate the home package to be under $200,000 for home and land, and Habitat provides a 30-year no-interest mortgage for these families, which the monthly mortgage payments will be less than $500 a month for families with Habitat mortgages. So it is truly affordable housing in West Hawaii, and we sincerely appreciate your support for Habitat throughout the years. Thank you, and aloha.
Thank you very much. Okay, seeing no other testifiers, we're gonna, before I was gonna put this meeting into recess so that we could follow up, like we said, with the Parks and Recreation. However, I had a request to talk about Resolution 35114. Is anyone opposed to that, or which is the Ka'u property? It should be really quick. So, Mr. Clerk, will you please, out of order, please read Resolution 351-14.
14 authorizes the Director of Finance to enter into negotiations for the acquisition of the Ka'u parcels with tax map keys 9-5-011:001, 9-5-011:004, 9-5-011:005, and 9-5-011:006 in the Aha Pua'a of Kaunamano, and tax map key 9-5-012:001 in the Aha Pua'a of Pu'upu'uvela pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 42, Hawaii County Code 1983-2005 edition as amended. The Kaunamano properties, 1,264.395 acres, are listed as a key priority for the purchase in the 2012 annual report of the Public Access, Open Space, and Natural Resources Preservation Commission. Reference Communication 763, introduced by Ms. Ford, postponed March 31st, 2014. Note there is a pending motion by Ms. Ford and duly seconded by Mr. Kanuha to recommend adoption of Resolution 351-14.
Councilmember Ford?
Thank you. This will be very quick. Just as a reminder that these parcels of land that we're going to be buying, hopefully buying, no, it's already live on the floor from last time. That's all right. Ranked number 4 in the 2012 annual report of the Open Space Commission. This is truly a wonderful opportunity for us to be acquiring this land and protecting not only the resources on the land and the cultural resources, but also the marine resources will be protected as well. Please vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Okay, so I'm going to do a voice vote. Is that okay? Okay. So all those in favor of Resolution 351-14, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Councilmember Onishi is still absent in the Hilo chambers, or did he vote aye?
Not in the Hilo chambers, Madam Chair.
Okay, so that is 8 ayes and 1 absent. Okay, so Resolution 351-14 moves forward to Council with a positive recommendation. Okay, I'm going to ask for just one more, because Mr. Steve Arnett is here and waiting, and so that he can be on his merry way. We're going to read... Okay, so Mr. Clerk, will you please read in Resolution 360-14, please?
Resolution 360-14 authorizes the Mayor of the County of Hawaii to execute and submit the 2014 Action Plan and all other related documents to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development for the 2014 Community Development Block Grant Program, CDBG. The county anticipates a 2014 CDBG allocation of $2,677,897, and the county also received an additional $99,811.53 of program income from the Residential Emergency Repair Program, and anticipates receiving an additional $75,000 of program income within the 2014 program year, for a total of $2,852,708.53 of CDBG funds. The county shall utilize these funds in accordance with the program rules and regulations to comply with the program certifications as provided in the attached action plan. Reference Communication 779, introduced by Ms. Poindexter.
We have a motion to approve Resolution 360-14.
So move.
It's been moved by Councilmember Iligan, seconded by Councilmember Yoshimoto. Is there any discussion, Mr. Iligan, or did you want to start off?
Aloha, committee members, Stephen Arnett, Director of Housing and Community Development. Before you, I'm hoping is a listing of the potential recipients of the CDBG block grants. They are, if not, the Hilo Adult Care Center for $500,000, the Pahala Fire Station acquisition of a truck for Ka'u of $165,000, Parks and Recreation accessibility ROAB removal of $1,002,258, Habitat for Humanity for the acquisition of land in Kamako Nui of $292,000, the Residential Emergency Repair Program, which is loans for low-income seniors for $358,450, and administration, planning, and fair housing for $535,000, totaling $2,852,708.53.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Arnett? No? Okay, seeing none, I'd like to do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, and I just want to make sure that Councilmember Onishi is not there yet, right, in Hilo? Okay, I just want to make sure that we have 8 ayes and not 9. So can you confirm that Councilmember Onishi is not there?
Sorry, Madam Chair. Mr. Onishi is not here.
Okay, thank you. So that's 8 ayes. Councilmember Kearns?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I just we have one of our police officers here. I'm not sure if he's waiting for something in finance.
Before, may I indulge you to? Sure. I have 4 more items on the agenda. Is it possible that we could take those, Mr. Yoshimoto?
I have to ask Council because we had agreed that I would go into recess, and we told the public that we were going to come out of recess into the Parks and Recreation committee. So I need to ask our council members, do you guys want to continue, or do we want to
I think if we have people here that are something specific, we should try to get through them, absolutely.
Okay, okay. So,
Madam Chair, I also want to point out that if we do have a committee that's coming up and when there's testifiers for that committee, then we're good to go.
yeah, and you know that in Hilo, Ms. Sharon Tariano is there, so I want to just kind of give you a heads up that we're allowing Mr. Arnett to, and I'm going to have to allow our people waiting in Hilo as well. So if we're going to continue, know that I cannot play favorites.
Well, yeah, as long as the people that are here are from a department or that we may have questions for, that's a different story than staying tuned for what happens in our
And know that possibility on Ms. Toriano's one, there's going to be a lot of discussion on it and will take some time. And that's why I'm cautioning the council, if you guys want to proceed this way, do I give everybody a fair shot at this, or do we do as we told the community before? Because we may run into some discussion. Because I was asked for that Ms. Sharon Tariano be taken out of order as well. And she's in Hilo. So I just want to
It's your call, Madam Chair.
Okay. So I'm going to, if there's no, if it's going to be really quick on Mr. Arnett's part, and I see that it's not going to be long discussions, I'm going to allow for that. So, and I just got note that Sharon left, so we're going to go ahead with Mr. Arnett. So
thank you all.
You're lucky.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Clerk, I'm just trying to find Mr. Arnett's next one.
Bill 227.
Bill 227. Okay, Mr. Clerk, please, Bill 227.
Bill 227 amends ordinance number 13-65 as amended the operating budget for the County of Hawaii for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2014. Appropriates revenues in the federal 2014 block grant account $2,677,897 and the block grant program income amount account $174,811.53 for a total of $2,852,708.53 and appropriates the same to the following accounts. Hilo Adult Daycare Center site and infrastructure improvements $500,000. Pahala Fire Station Wildland Brush Truck acquisition $165,000. Hilo Drag Strip Accessibility and Compliance, $1,002,258.53. Habitat for Humanity Affordable Workforce Housing Land Acquisition, $292,000. Residential Emergency Repair Program, $358,450. And Administration Planning and Fair Housing, $535,000. Reference Communication 779, introduced by Ms. Poindexter.
May I have a motion to approve Bill 227? Second. It's been moved by Councilmember Kern, seconded by Councilmember Ford. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, so I'm going to again confirm Councilmember Onishi is an absent vote. Is that correct?
That is correct, Chair.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, instead of keep going back to you, as soon as Mr. Onishi arrives in the Hilo chambers, can you let me know?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the voice vote is 8 in favor, 1 absent. So Bill 227 moves forward to council with a positive recommendation. Then we go to
228.
Mr. Clerk, will you please read in Bill 228?
Bill 228 amends ordinance number 13-65 as amended the operating budget for the County of Hawaii for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2014. Increases revenues in the federal 2013 block grant account $127,655 and appropriates the same to the removal of architectural barriers, Americans with Disabilities Act compliance, various county facilities account $75,000 and the Boys and Girls Club of the Big Island Certified Kitchen Construction account $52,655. Reference Communication 780 introduced by Ms. Poindexter.
May I have a motion to approve Bill 228? Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Yoshimoto and seconded by Councilmember Kanuha. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those... Okay. Is that Councilmember Onishi?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so we have 9 ayes. Please let the record show that Mr. Onishi is in the Hilo chambers. So Bill 228 moves forward to council with a positive recommendation. Then we move to, is that 229?
229, yes, please.
Is yours too?
229, yes.
229, okay. Bill. Revenues and federal funds. Okay, thank you. Mr. Clerk, please read in Bill 229.
Bill 229 amends ordinance number 13-65 as amended the operating budget for the County of Hawaii for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2014. Increases revenues in federal grants workforce investment act WIA account $1,521,232 and appropriate save to the following account: WIA administration planning 2014-15 $152,121, WIA adult program 2014-15 $495,316, WIA dislocated workers program 2014-2015 $405,276, and WIA youth program 2014-15 $468,519. Funds would be used to assist adults, dislocated workers, and youth by providing services that will train individuals to increase employment, retention, earning, skills, and literacy. Reference Communication 781, introduced by Ms. Poindexter.
May I have a motion to approve Bill 229?
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Iligan, seconded by Councilmember Kern. Is there any discussion? Seeing, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All those opposed? Okay. So we have 9 ayes. Bill 229 moves forward to council with a positive recommendation.
230 is my last one.
230 is yours also? I didn't realize that. Okay, thank you. Mr. Clerk, you had a lot, yeah? Mr. Clerk, please read in Bill 230.
Bill 230 amends ordinance number 08-106 of the County of Hawaii as heretofore amended, pertaining to the issuance of general obligation bonds for the purpose of funding all or a portion of the cost of various capital improvement projects for the county. Amends Exhibit A, Draft 5, by decreasing funding for the Kealakehi Wastewater Treatment Plant, WTP, aeration upgrade, $2,650,000, and eliminating funding for the Kealakehi WTP sludge removal project, $3 million, due to the Department of Environmental Management's acquisition of state revolving fund financing for these projects. Adds, repair, replace wastewater facilities, $3 million, and Kamakoa Nui Community Development, $2,650,000. Reference Communication 782, introduced by Ms. Poindexter.
May I have a motion to approve Bill 230? So moved. It's been moved by Councilmember Eoff, seconded by Councilmember Iligan. Is there any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, can I do a voice vote? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Councilmember Onishi?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All those opposed? Okay, so we have 9 ayes. Bill 230 moves forward to council with a positive recommendation.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
At this time, too, I'm just going to ask just one more that we talked about the police officer in the back, and you are here for, I don't know the officer's name, but are you here for Bill 236?
And probably Reso 361?
Space program.
Yeah.
Space? Space, yeah.
Had any questions for me?
So, Mr. Clerk, will you please read into the record Bill 236?
Bill 236 amends ordinance number 13-65 as amended the operating budget for the County of Hawaii for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2014. Appropriates revenues in the federal grant sexual assault nurse coordinator grant account $24,946 and appropriates same to the sexual assault nurse coordinator account. Funds would be used to contract an agency to oversee, coordinate, and perform service services of the Police Department Sexual Assault Forensic Examiner Program. Reference Communication 784.
Agenda. Mr. Clerk, will you please read in Communication 3.34?
Communication 3.34, reports of change orders authorized March 1st through 15, 2014 from Finance Director Nancy Crawford dated March 21st, 2014, transmitting the above report pursuant to Hawaii County Code Section 2-12.3.
Can I have a motion to close file on Communication 3.34?
So moved.
It's been moved by Councilmember Kern, seconded by Councilmember Yoshimoto. Is there any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Councilmember Onishi? Okay, so we have 8 ayes and 1 absent. Mr. Clerk, will you please read, Communication 3.34 is filed. Mr. Clerk, will you please read in Communication 7.27?
Communication 7.27, reports of fund transfers authorized February 28th to March 15, 2014 from Controller K. Oshiro dated March 19th, 2014.
May I have a motion to close file on Communication 7.27? It's been moved by Councilmember Kanuha, seconded by Councilmember Kern. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All those opposed? Okay, so there's 9 ayes. Communication 7.27 is filed. Mr. Clerk, will you please read in Resolution 362-14?
Resolution 362-14 authorizes the payment of funds of a latter fiscal year and of more than one fiscal year for a multi-year agreement for the purchase of software and licensing for the Department of Information Technology. Authorizes the mayor to enter into a 3-year agreement at an approximate cost of $126,757 per year to purchase Microsoft Office 2013 software and associated license agreements that would be incorporated into new computers for the county. The county would save approximately $15,998 in software costs, as well as any additional savings realized from free upgrades of Microsoft 2013 to future versions during the term of this agreement. Reference Communication 785, introduced by Ms. Poindexter.
May I have a motion to approve Resolution 362-14? It's been moved by Councilmember Kern, seconded by Councilmember Kanuha. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. So Resolution 362-14 moves forward to council with a positive recommendation. Mr. Clerk, please read into the record Resolution 363-14.
Resolution 363-14 authorizes the payment of funds of a latter fiscal year and of more than one fiscal year for a multi-year agreement with Hawaiian Telcom for integrated services digital network primary rate interface service. Authorizes the mayor to enter into a 3-year agreement at a cost of $1,185 per month for services in Hilo and at the West Hawaii Civic Center. The county would save $975 per month. Reference Communication 786, introduced by Ms. Poindexter.
May I have a motion to approve Resolution 363-14? It's been moved by Councilmember Kanuha, seconded by Councilmember Kern. Is there any discussion? Seeing or hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, Resolution 363-14 moves forward to council with a positive recommendation. Mr. Clerk, will you please read in Bill 181?
Bill 181 amends Chapter 2, Article 15 of the Hawaii County Code 1983, 2005 edition as amended relating to Code of Ethics. Prohibits county officers and employees or businesses in which a county officer, employee, or the officer, employee, spouse, or dependent children own